Arsenal Fan TV America, welcome back. The best of the best. Champions League football edition. Hey, listen, we were away from Champions League football, European Champions League, that is, which is the most decorated competition or soccer competition or football competition in the world. Lots of people follow it, watch it because, of course, of the magnificent amount of superstars. So today, Champions League is back. We had two games. We had our noisy neighbors, Tottenham, playing AC Milan at the San Siro in Italy. And then the second game we had was PSG, Paris Saint-Germain, taking on Bayern Munich at the Parc des Princes, which is the Paris Saint-Germain home ground in Paris. And it was a phenomenal game. If you haven't watched the PSG game, and if you have not watched any game for Messi and Neymar together, it's a mistake. You got to go back and watch that very game. It was a great game. Bayern Munich exampled football. But we're going to start real quick at Italy, where the Italians, after 7 minutes at the San Siro, which we all know is a very, very difficult place to go to, they were able to score the first goal. And who did? Brahim Diaz, that little guy from AC Milan. What a player and what a goal it is. 7 minutes, like we said, AC Milan is 1-0. And they were able to hang tight to that very 1-0 advantage. And they finished the game 1-0. Tottenham tried. But hey, listen, it didn't work. Again, AC Milan were very, very good on the day. Now we're going to leave Italy. We're going to leave the San Siro. And we're going to fly real quick to Paris. Wow. Bayern Munich and Paris Saint-Germain today, again, exampled football for me. What a game that was. There's a lot of superstars. There's a lot of speculations. There's coaches. A football match involves lots of things. So, let's talk about the two managers first. Bayern Munich, Nagelsmann. He is a very, very young man. Only 35, 36 years of age. And he is already experienced. He has taken before RB Leipzig. Nobody knows very much team. And he's conquered in Champions League football without a strong team. So he has that sort of experience. He's a very knowledgeable young man, a great coach for a great team. His tactical ability I think, supersedes the other guy today, which is Gaultier. I don't know if Gaultier has that magnificent sort of experience that you would say, hands down, he would win a Champions League game. He doesn't. And we also have to look at, players that Gaultier has. The French coach has Lionel Messi. He has Neymar. And on the bench, they're coming back from injury, Mbappe. You're going to tell me why Mbappe didn't start? He was injured, and it's a muscle injury. You don't want to play a player during a muscle injury before recovering, and it happened a week ago or so. So nobody expected him to be back even on the bench. But he was back today, and he did play a big portion of the second half, and we'll talk about that. Well, let's go back now, and we compare the coaches to each other, and I think Nagelsmann already won that battle before the game started. Let's talk about how both teams approached that game and who played. We saw Bayern Munich, the visiting team. In the back, you saw Upamecano, De Ligt, and then Benjamin Pavard. Benjamin Pavard is a great center back. However, his original position is a right back. Through the academy, where he started, he always played a right back position, and he played a right back position for Bayern Munich till Joao Cancelo shows up. Of course, Cancelo has to play. He's a great player. He was substituted earlier, second half. I don't know why Nagelsmann did that. Maybe injury, maybe strain, maybe whatever. Maybe he wanted to change the way he played. But we saw him took Joao Cancelo. So he started with those three in the back. And then on the far right, when he defended with five. Those two will go up front and then will come back. So great, looking shape for Bayern Munich. Early on the game, they controlled that game so well. And that happened through the almost two holding midfielders in Joshua Kimmich and Grotzke. So it's not one that goes and breaks the play. It's both of them that are breaking the play. And in front of him, I saw Leroy Sané kind of going and coming, him and Jamal Musiala, but supposedly Jamal Musiala, that's his position, to play on top of these two. And then we saw on the wing Koeman, which is, he's done a tremendous job. And of course, we know that we're going to stop at Koeman. He scored the first goal, the one goal for the game that was scored by Bayern Munich. And if you go back to the season that Bayern Munich took out PSG Champions League final, that was also another one goal by Koeman. Now, Koeman, just to let you know, didn't celebrate, and you saw him holding his hand up. That means I don't want to celebrate against a team that he came from. Koeman is actually a product of the PSG, the Paris Saint-Germain Academy. They only sold him to Bayern Munich because he did not get enough football, or the football he wanted. And we can see now that this came back and bit him really hard, because he's the one that's always scoring against them, and he examples football, or a winger's football, against him. He always hangs on, outside, however, and comes in with the ball. He's very skillful and got the speed, and he also got the cleverness. When the team goes that way, he tucks in to score like he did today. Choupo-Moting up front, which I think also played a great game. We skipped talking about Sommers. Jan Sommers, just as you all know, got transferred weeks ago because Emmanuel Neuer went on a skiing trip, broke his knee. Hopefully he recovers soon. Very important player. Emmanuel Neuer, we know he plays also as a libero, as behind the defense. Great player. Again, but Sommers came in today as a starting goalkeeper. Did great. They played, I want to say, 3-4-2-1, Bayern Munich. So the four in the middle would have been Cancelo, Kimmich, Grotzke, and on the other side, on the left side, Jamal Musiala. And then we saw the two in Koeman, and we saw Leroy Sané. They're the two in front. And then up top was Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting, which in my eyes also has done a phenomenal job. Now let's go to PSG. You're going to ask me first, what do you think about Bayern Munich? Perfect. Excellent. Great balance. That 3-4-2-1 formation, I love it. Allows you to go wide, allows you to penetrate, and allows you to close down quickly. And we saw that. Kimmich and Grotzke, they don't allow. All Bayern Munich team don't allow. They don't allow anybody to get the ball and stay with it. They close them down right away. So let's go to PSG real quick and see who Gaultier decided to start with. In the back, I thought that PSG at first played 4-4-2. The two up top, of course, with Lionel Messi and Neymar. But let's go back to goalkeeper Gianluigi Donnarumma. Did great today, saved his team. He was, I think, the better player, maybe the best player on PSG. Maybe he stopped a couple of 3 goals that would kill the game. So if they go to the second leg, remember, this is one of 2 legs. So this is the first leg. They go to the second leg and play. Again, they're going to play each other's, but this time in Bayern Munich. So he really did good into not conceding a whole lot of goals. In front of him was Sergio Ramos and Marquinhos, the right back, Achraf Hakimi, and the left back was Nuno Mendes. Look, Nuno and Hakimi, great speed. Didn't utilize them. Marquinhos sat next to Sergio Ramos and didn't move enough for him. Marquinhos wasn't Marquinhos on the day in my eyes. However, Sergio Ramos had an exceptional game. In front of him, it was Marco Verratti and Danilo. And we saw both of them, Marco Verratti and Danilo, as the two holding midfielder. On the outside of him, on the midfield, we said the 4-4-2 was Carlos Soler on the left-hand side and Zaire Emery. He did great, had a great game on the right side. And the two up front were Messi and Neymar, your number 30 and your number 10, the two greatest players we know, or one of 2 greatest players on earth. And that was how PSG started the game. First half, let's talk about first half real quick. When Bayern Munich came in, they held the ball. And when they lost the ball, they got it immediately. So that forced PSG back and forced Achraf Hakimi and forced Nuno Mendes, that's supposed to be your, going up and down, right and left backs. It forced him to stay back because of the movement of Kingsley Coman on one side, and then on the other side, Leroy Sané was doing the same thing and then taking on left back Nuno Mendes. So they both kept him up, Anytime they lost the ball, Kimmich and Grotzke, Bayern Munich came in and took the ball and got it. Messi got right away. Delict coming at him from the back. Upamecano coming at him from the back to not keep the ball. Neymar was the only one that would keep free, but he would just run with the ball, and Mbappe wasn't there, so it didn't happen. You have to also look at the first half and stop your screen, and I did that during the game to see that Bayern Munich are all together as a team. But when it comes to Paris Saint-Germain, we saw 8 players only will defend, and 2 players, you won't see them in the screen if you're watching on TV, which was Neymar and Messi. So Neymar and Messi both didn't really do the defensive job well. They didn't track back. They also didn't pressure up front. I saw Neymar try to do that on just a couple of occasions, maybe 5 minutes out of the whole half, trying to, pressure up front. But if you're going to sit up front, you got to pressure. You cannot just sit up front and not do anything or track back. So there was a separation in the team. We saw 8 players going back defending, and these 2 were standing up front, which wasn't working for PSG. If you play Bayern, that can work in any other match maybe, but if you're playing against a team like Bayern Munich, that's operating on all cylinders at all time, you can't do that. You have to work together to shut them down. Comes in the second half, Davies comes in for Joao Cancelo. At first, I would tell you I didn't like it. However, but Davies, the Canadian international, he's very, very quick, maybe one of the quickest, if not the quickest in the world. We saw that Bayern Munich was playing with 2 people on the right side, but with him only second half on the left side. That's how quick he is. He can recover all his mistakes. And he was able to send a beautiful ball across. Comes from him to Kingsley Coman. That was out wide, but we saw him track in to take it one time in a goal. In recent days, he played also the Bundesliga league and scored something similar, but from the other side, Joao Cancelo sent it to him and he takes it one time. Now it's from the left side. Davies waits, takes it in, and he just takes it with his right foot. Donnarumma couldn't get down quick enough. I thought he should have used his right foot to save this or use his feet, but he didn't. He decided to come down. He's a big goalkeeper. It takes him a long time to come down. The ball already slid underneath him. And then we saw Bayern Munich with the one and only goal of this very game. Now, you're going to tell me 1 goal? Tremendous game. It's amazing football, amazing movement. Bayern Munich, example, triangle movement, squaring movement, line movement, penetration in the middle, going out wings. They've done everything in the football, shutting down together as a team. However, 57th minute, Kylian Mbappe came on, and we could see right away that Kylian Mbappe was ready to score. He wasn't fit. His movement was a bit difficult. Again, muscle strain, muscle injury is not a great thing to come back right off of that. A couple of touches of him went bad. Let me just say this before I go on to see what greatness he's done. But when he came on, now we saw 3 up front versus 2 up front. So now we saw 7 people back defending. And that made the job extremely difficult on Danilo in the middle and Verratti and such. So Kylian Mbappe can release the pressure and go out, but didn't come back and defend. Neymar wasn't defending. Messi wasn't defending. So now it became, again, much more difficult as a task for them to score. However, we saw a very, very quick transition for PSG that led to a goal through Nuno Mendes. Neymar made a beautiful ball down, and Nuno Mendes ran from the outside, left side, got that ball and made it across, but it was an offside. We also saw a very, 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 very direct play from Kylian Mbappe behind the defense. Again, that left side went in, but Jan Somers exampled and showed us why he is a great goalkeeper that deserves to be playing on such a team like Bayern Munich, and he stopped that ball with his face. I mean, wow. Listen, you got to watch that game. There's a lot and a lot and a lot and a lot. I talked about the game for a long time now. However, I couldn't cover the beauty of the football and what was played throughout this game. But I'm going to leave you with this. Bayern Munich is going to win the second league. Why? A second leg. Why? Because they play as a team. PSG, the 3 big guys, they can benefit you tremendously, Mbappe, Messi, and Neymar, or they can actually be the very reason you lose a football game because, again, they don't work together on track back. It depends who you're playing. And in this case, you're playing Bayern Munich, one of, if not the best club in the world, playing collective football. They're all fit, they're all quick, they're all intelligent, they're all individually great players, but they choose to play together. Sometimes they make a pass that's blindly. They make a pass blindly, and there's someone there because they know and trust each other's wholeheartedly and tremendously. And Bayern Munich very, very much enjoyed that game today. Best of luck to PSG next game, but I don't know if they're going to be beating Bayern Munich. It looks like Bayern Munich is going to go through. Same for Tottenham. I don't know if they can beat AC Milan. We'll see. We don't know. We're going to have to wait for the second leg. Very exciting football today. And once again, Bayern Munich was able to beat PSG in Paris, and AC Milan was able to beat Tottenham in Italy. Stay tuned. Tomorrow, Arsenal Football Club Premier League will take on Manchester City. The one game that we have, we have two games versus City. This is the first one in the Premier League that we play at the Emirates. Come on, you Gunners. We gotta win tomorrow. This is a Premier League decider in my eyes because it's such an important game with the one team that is chasing you and the one team that's competing with you. In my eyes, it's a two-horse race between City and Arsenal. Tomorrow is going to be a very important game. Hopefully, Mikel Arteta will have his game plan hat on and will end that streak of City winning against us. And we are going to go and beat them. I feel Arsenal is going to win tomorrow 2-1. Hey, come on, you Gunners. Any win will do. Right now, we're 48 for City and 51 for Arsenal. You're number one. You don't want City winning tomorrow. Of course, it's the 3-point. They'll be 51 even each. And we don't want that. We want Arsenal winning and increasing that to a 6-point gap. Come on, you Gunners. And we'll see you tomorrow after the game. Good luck. Don't forget, subscribe, and like and share.